everybody? Welcome back. So picking back up kind of where we left off, sort of. Talking about doing what you love and like how and why the fuck that's truly important, because that's being a good example. And there's something else that I think is also really important, which is
the choice is yours.
What do you say, John? Fuck 'em.
fuck them. As far as fuck them, fuck what? Fuck who? Fuck other people's opinions, man. Like, I think that's also why so many of us don't do what we love to do, is because we're scared of other people's opinions. We're scared of what other people are going to think and say and how they're going to react. And it's like the fear of getting rejected by your peers and loved ones is like almost just too much to handle. And I think that really it's like fuck other people's opinions, man, unless those opinions actually help you, and if those opinions move you forward, and if they're good, and if it's of good nature and good intention, then yeah, respect that. Respect to people's opinions that are good ones and help you. Sometimes a people's opinion will offend you, and later you're like, oh, thank you for that. When that happens, come back and thank that person, whatever it may be, And I think it's important to have people like that around you, that you can really just like trust their opinions and trust what they have to say of you and about you and to you and for you, It's hard to find people who are like gonna always be supportive of what you're doing. It's very rare that people will believe in you so much or even more than you do, and with that being said, actually, I want to give a shout out to one of the people who's like that for me in my life, and that is Sebastian Hernandez. I fucking love you, brother. You are one of the realest motherfuckers on this planet. And I got your book. You guys should go get his book. It is called It Takes a Leap by Sebastian Hernandez. And, tell him Calvin sent you. Oh no, I broke my weed leaf in there. I had a dried out weed leaf as a bookmarker. One of the leaves just fell off. But this is his book. I just got it just recently. I'm about to start jumping into this pretty soon. I'm pretty excited. I just finished up some of my other audiobooks and stuff, so now I'm going to be ready for this. And, I just want to say, let me see. I'm going to just read the back of this real quick. I'm going to read about the author. I actually haven't even read this yet, but I want to see what he says about himself, if he's the one who wrote that. I'm not sure how that works, but and then I'm gonna sum it up. So shout out Sebastian. The book is It Takes a Leap. Just came out like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. About the author, Sebastian Hernandez, a U.S. Navy veteran, international self-mastery coach, and global entrepreneur. Empowers individuals worldwide to recognize and step into their greatness and ignite a passionate life worth living. Sebastian mentors and supports clients from all walks of life to align to their best self and identify with clarity the areas that matter most to them. He promotes self-discovery that results in taking the required actions to break through their own limiting beliefs, giving them the freedom to design, create, and live a life fulfilled. Oh, no, sorry, I read that wrong. Let's go back. He promotes self-discovery that results in taking the required actions to break through their own limiting beliefs, giving them the freedom to design, create, and live a fulfilled lifestyle on their terms.
Damn, dude.
That's powerful, man. That's funny. That's just kind of what I happen to be talking about, and that's, man, that was really well said. Actually, good job, bro. If you wrote that yourself, that damn, bro. Talk about like giving yourself the credit that you deserve without being like, oh, I'm the shit. Ugh. Like, my man, he's Sebastian. Fucking love you, bro. Go get the book, you guys. That is It Takes a Leap. You can find it on Amazon, wherever. Just go on the fucking internet and type that. It Takes a Leap, by Sebastian Hernandez. You can also see his website at ignitewithsebastian.com. He's actually going to be a guest on here later. But one thing why I mention him, why I took the time to do that, is because he's one of those people that believes in me oftentimes more than I believe in myself. And I know that I am that for him too. Like every time there's an event or something, like, fuck yeah, bro, I can't wait for the next one. And it's always like we're seeing this huge picture for each other. And I think it's important to find people who can do that for you. And I'm fortunate enough to have Sebastian as a brother. If he wasn't my brother, I would very much most likely be paying for his services. Tell him, go hit him up, dude. Like, I'm sure he'll talk to you. Just having one conversation with him just to consult or just to whatever, like, you can get a lot out of it. Sebastian is just one of those people. So, excuse me. So one thing though is like, he's like a prime example of like, fuck what other people think, man. Like, I'm gonna just go do this. I'm gonna do this. I can create the lifestyle that I want to live, and he helps other people do it. I'm a direct result and example of somebody who coaches with him. I've done his courses. I've done a whole bunch of different things with him, and they've all been really fucking powerful and especially in identifying and discovering like your highest self and who that person is, what they look like, what they think like, what they act like, what they smell like, what they drive, where they live. Like, he's just one of those people that can, I just don't understand how he does what he does, which I think is really cool, because that's like, I think that's the way you should do shit, you know? So what was I saying? Yeah, it's important. So another thing, this is really trippy. So what ties into that too is like, well, how do you become one of these, how do you become so open, you know? And I think when it comes, this is another thing that bugs me. When I hear people use the term woke, in general, it's kind of an annoying word, but especially when people apply it to politics, I'm like, homie, if you're talking about woke and politics, you just explained that you are not woke. Like, come on, bro, you're just doing it wrong. No, woke does not apply to that. Woke applies to being self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, Buddha wasn't unawake. Like, any Buddha that's existed has not been privy to politics to be like, and be like, oh, I understand politics, I'm woke. Like, nah, dude, like, they were out like awakening themselves, you know, like awakening from the inside, and like being awake and aware, whatever the fuck you want to call it, like, has nothing to do with outside sources. It completely has to do with going inside. And I think any person who's actually woke is like not gonna say that they are. Like, why would you? It's fucking weird, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's the same way like a black belt, a real like authentic black belt kung fu teacher is not gonna go around like, I'm a black belt, and they're just gonna be like, oh, I do martial arts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just don't have to say it. It's like when you ask somebody, hey, like, you any good at skateboarding? I'm all right. And you're just like, yo, this motherfucker's good. It's always the guy who's talking shit. I can do this, that. Like, no, always, that usually gets his ass whooped in competitions or whatever. So it's funny. But one thing, so that leads into the next thing, which is, let me see if I can get this to work, because it was working for me.
Nobody's gonna know.
What is this crap?
Nobody's gonna know.
Oh no. There's some commercials going on in my thing, and I did not plan for that. So, leading into the next thing.
Damn, dude.
What are we talking about? We are talking about going on a spiritual journey. Yeah, no, I could be fucking weird. But what I'm talking about is doing a mushroom ceremony. And I know that sounds funny. People kind of giggle when I say that or look at me confused, like, what the fuck is a mushroom ceremony? Well, to me, I really believe in plant medicines. I believe that plant medicines are ancient technology. And I also believe that plant medicines are tools that are used to gain insight and depth into our deepest self, as well as different spiritual realms, as well as using those insights to be a good person in life. So plant medicines to me are natural things that, plants, things that are not man-made, things that are used to discover. A lot of people will use like acid or LSD, shit like that, and I'm not a fan, and they'll have some good realizations, but I can, for myself, I'm like, nah, for me, that's not it. It's like that was synthesized, it was man-made, and I would rather just go straight to the source. That's why things like ayahuasca, DMT, I'm like blanking, but other shit, or other plants, I should say, psilocybin, magic mushrooms, whatever you want to call it, that stuff, if you use it correctly, it's tools. It's absolutely tools to be able to give you insight and clarity and confirmation in life. So I went and I did that this past weekend, and it was pretty cool, man. Like I just got a lot of confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. I'm making the right moves. Despite a lot of the shit, despite a lot of circumstances that are going on in my life, I'm doing the right thing. And having to take a step back and be like, fuck, man, like that feeling of, oh, I lost my family, this, that, nah, like this just is an opportunity for me to like grow my family stronger, just with a different dynamic than I had imagined in the first place. And it's like context is everything, man. Like we don't have to fucking stay thinking the same beliefs, the same context. I think if we can bring constant awareness to the context that we come from, we no longer offend people, or we no longer come up short with our words, because when we think from context rather than just like automatic talking, there's a level of mindfulness to it. And it's like, if I can be clear on the context I'm coming from, then you don't have to be offended, because the context is clear if you understand that. That's why text messages or emails are kind of weird and can often be misinterpreted, is because you oftentimes can't get the context due to the tone of language, or how somebody uses slang words, or, if somebody has like a draw when they speak, or like, something that's just kind of a little different if they speak ghetto or proper or whatever. It's like there's gonna just be misinterpretations, so you know what I mean? It's like somebody could just like, it's something so simple. It's like someone could be like, hey, what up, what it do? And then, if somebody on the other end is like, what it do? Like, are you a fucking idiot? And it's just like, no, like, oh, what up, what it do? Like, no, I'm just from Texas. That's what I say. Like, whatever it is, like, what's good? We say that, and people will be like, what do you mean, what is good? Like, no, that means hi. Like, how are you? Like, what's good with you? How, what I'm saying? So it's funny. So context. And I think that's one thing that especially a lot of people in the States have access to is psilocybin mushrooms. And I think it's important. And why I call it a ceremony is because I'm not doing it to go trip, to go party, to do whatever. I'm doing it to gain insight and clarity. And what I'm doing is I'm sitting down, I'm singing Icaros to my medicine, to my tools. Icaros are Incan songs from the jungle in that I learned from my shamans in Peru. And it's basically just like a blessing, you know, like a prayer, kind of in one, and an intention setter. So I'm out there, you know, I'm setting intention, and I'm creating my journey that I want to have. I'm not just really at the will of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Now, it's not like I can control or force anything, but I can set out to discover what I want to discover. And for me, it's like I came in with the intention of like, okay, I just want to gain clarity around my relationship status with everybody, you know, not any particular person, but just like all the relationships that I have in my life. And, you know, in whatever form. And I think it's interesting, like, one thing I realized during my journey was how appreciative I am and of people around me and the relationships that we have, and how unique a lot of the relationships that I have with people are. You know, it's like there's some people I'm cool with that, like, there's absolutely no way I could have even a remotely close conversation about these things as I could the next person. And vice versa, and so on, you know, so on and so forth. I don't know why that phrase has always been funny to me. But you know what I'm saying? Oh, chair's all uncomfortable. There we go. Oh, that's way better. So what I learned is like, damn, like I need to be more open. I need to share more, and I need to show people the love that I really have for them. A lot of times I find myself just like being there, not saying anything or whatever. And I do my best to speak up, and it's hard, you know? And that's kind of why this podcast is so cool, because it gives me an outlet to be able to speak, and just kind of diary and journal and document life, really, you know? That's why if you've seen all before on my Instagram or whatever, all those practice things is called Because Documenting. People thought that was my official podcast. No, this is the Damn Dude podcast, is the official podcast.
Damn, dude.
And so what I think is that sharing is important. All of our journeys in life and everything, we can all relate. And that's why these are the conversations that need to be had, is because these are conversations where everybody can relate. So back to what I was saying. So about my journey, I took them, I blended them up, I put them in my green juice, and I drank it, you know, and I sat there and I sang and I meditated and prayed and just kind of kicked it by the fire out in the middle of the desert. Can't tell you exactly where I was, because secret spots. But what you can find is a few people try and find out where I am all the time, but I always tag Tijuana. So sorry if you really think I'm in TJ all the time. I mean, I do go to TJ, but not like that. Yeah, no. So yeah, I won't give it up. You got to come with me if you want to find the spot, and you're not allowed to blow it up. So yeah, I was out in the cuts, dude. I was out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I'm out there like I was literally like yelling as loud as I could in every direction, and there's just absolutely nobody around. And it was just so fucking amazing, man. Like, I got to just feel like a fucking, what a wild, like, human is supposed to feel like. And through that, I just kept having flashes and visions and voices and confirmations of, like, I don't know, I would, like, basically how my trip was going is, like, I would think of particular friends or family and just be like, oh, I love that person so much. And I would just think about all the things that I love about them and all the things I appreciate about them. I also kind of got a little more clarity. I still have a lot of resistance around, like, money for some reason. Like, I know how to make a lot of money. There's something been stopping me. I kind of just been waiting for the right, I don't know. There's just this, for me, there's always something that, like, I just know if my heart or my gut tells me something, I listen to that, and I completely just stop it there, and I don't even let it go to my brain. My gut and my heart is 100% what thinks for me and acts for me and lives for me. I do not listen to my brain, dude. I don't. And I don't recommend you do either.
damn, dude.
Man, fuck what your brain has to say. Like, when has that shit tried to steer you right? You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, occasionally, but think about it. Your gut tells you first. If you see if you're gonna go ask a girl out, if you're gonna go ask a guy out, whatever, you're gonna go ask for an interview. What does your head start fluttering? You got, it's like, no, like your stomach starts fluttering. You get butterflies in your stomach. Your stomach's like, oh shit, this is it. And then your heart's like, dum, 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 dum. And then your brain's like, no, don't do it. And then that's when it's like, oh man, like what the fuck, dude? I shouldn't have listened to your punk ass, dude. Like you sound like a fucking bitch, dude. But that's really like, I relate to my brain like, come on, bro, like you're being a bitch. Like that's what my heart and gut tell me first is like, yeah. And there's a lot of science that actually proves that your gut is your first brain. I know it sounds kind of trippy, but it's actually a fact. You can look it up. That's why probiotics and all that shit is important. I'm nowhere near an expert on that, and I'm still pretty chubby, but like, I understand it simply, but you could do the research if that's that intriguing to you. But yeah, man, I went out exploring in the desert, dude. I was out everywhere. I went to some places I'd never been before. I went out hiking. I went out fucking off-roading. I was going through the sand. I was going through oh man, I was going everywhere. It was cool. I was just taking it easy, just cruising. I was using my mom's Jeep, but like, it's just a stock four-door Jeep, but like, it fucking goes, dude. Like, it's so funny. All these overland fools, and that word is hilarious too. Oh, I'm an overlander. Like, oh, okay, bro. Like, it's called camping in your car with stuff you spent too much money on. No hate, but that's just the reality of it. There's like, no, but it's so funny. These guys get mad, dude. They're sitting on like 35s and 6-inch lifts and coilovers and all this shit and triple bypass shock, all this crazy shit with the fucking the big like scat track, not scat track. Those are paddle tires. Like Maxxis fucking tire tread things, those orange ones that you put to get out of getting stuck. Like they buy those. I've been off-roading for like 30 years and never needed that once. Like if you're too cool to carry a piece of wood and a shovel, like, I mean, props to you, man. If you can afford it, that's cool, or like you think it's worth it, cool. But like, that's just too much to carry and they just fade in the sun. Like a block of wood or a fucking mat and a shovel and some nearby rocks, even, like, you can get out of anything if you get stuck in the desert. And then, okay, I got a bone to pick with, again, some of you overlanding guys. For one, trail riding is not safer than desert riding, cruising. It's not. Secondly, if you were driving through the dirt or the trails that are dirt, you do not need to air down. You do not need to air your tires down. If you're going to Glamis, maybe Superstition, Gordon's Wells, Buttercup, air your fucking tires down. Get them down to what, 8, 12, maybe 6 if you're fucking G with it. Like, you know what I mean? But come on, you guys. You do not need to be airing down for, like, if you go to Ocotillo and you're airing down, like, why? No. Go ahead and air down and I will get through everything you get through in a stock 2-wheel drive vehicle. I promise you. It's a little crazy. You don't need to do all that. I had to go there, man. You guys, I've been cracking up on that. But, man, and those of you who know, there's no shower like an after desert shower, man. Like, you come home and, oh, you can literally see the dirt going down the drain. Like, fuck, dude, I didn't even know it was that dirty. But shit, that goes into fucking fuck what other people think. You know what I'm saying? Fuck other people's opinions. Do what you want to do. Go be dirty. Do whatever the fuck. And at the same time, if me thinking you're silly for airing down, fuck my opinion too. You know, that's just me. Like, you don't have to do that. But I do know the basics and a lot about off-roading, and that, yeah, it's a little silly to do all that. Not saying you can't, and you can also say fuck what I think about it, but also fuck what you think about it, because I will go where you can go. Two-wheel drive, not aired down. Oh, I'm just talking some shit. All right, we're gonna take a quick break real quick. We're gonna be right back.
Calvin, even though Calvin looked like he just ate a cat.